What's up, witches? It's Luna here, flying my Pride Month colors still, because why wouldn't I? I'm here for another unboxing for you, and this is me slowly crawling back to a live stream someday soon. I do promise that. Anyhow, today's deck is the Golden Tarot, and I want to say right off the bat here, I know that a lot of people are intimidated by tarot. If this is, your first foray into divination or something, so many oracle decks and they're so very easy that a lot of people look at tarot and it's like, oh, thinking that you have to learn all kinds of history and, foundational stuff, and that's just not true. So I want to say, if you're feeling intimidated by tarot, there are decks out there that are totally not intimidating, and actually I think I might have to shoot a video on good decks for beginners. I'm looking around here because I can't find my lighter, and I'm noticing my candle's not lit. Lordy Lord, hold on. Harumph. And I don't have a charcoal in here. At any rate, the subject is coming up with this deck because this is a deck that is filling in that historical part of my collection. There are lineages of tarot, and there is a lot of history there that is not necessary to know at all if you want to read the deck, read with tarot. But when you're a collector like me, it's important. So this was another gift from my daughter. She gets me so many amazing decks. And the Golden Tarot, the Visconti-Sforza deck, and I do have a copy of the Chariot Visconti, giant cards and pip cards and stuff like that. But this one, and when she called and said, do you have this one, there's a lot of tarot decks that are called the Golden something or other. So this is the Visconti-Sforza by Mary Packard. Look at this glorious box. Isn't that amazing? It's beautiful. And we have the Golden Tarot. The Visconti-Sforza Tarot deck is one of the oldest and most complete tarot decks in existence, dating back to the mid-15th century, commissioned by Filippo Maria Visconti, Duke of Milan, and by his successor Francesco Sforza. Many of the cards portray members of the Sforza and Visconti families in period garments. Interesting. Originally designed to be used to play the then popular card game of Trionfi, over the next 3 centuries, the cards became tools of divination, which is how they are most commonly associated today. Included in this kit are 78 authentically recreated tarot cards, 144-page book describing the history behind the cards and instructions to use the cards to gain insights into one's life, purple satin tarot cloth, and elegant storage box. I have to concur. It is elegant. This is by Race Point Publishing, which I have never heard of. But let's look. So it's, it's a flip open. And then look what we have here. We have a cloth, which I'm not going to open. We have a very nice book with color images. And we have a giant deck. Oh, Lordy. So the Carrie Yale, and hold on one more minute. I just want to see. Oh, Carrie Yale beats him. There is a bigger deck still. You got, God, this deck weighs like 5 pounds. Feels like a brick. You could knock somebody out with it. So look at the difference between these cards. Holy shit. So this is relatively a small deck. Lord. Anyhow, set those back. So here is the Visconti-Sforza. Here are the backs. I mean, do I even need to zoom you in? They're so huge. But I will, because why not? Because I like you to see what's going on. But I don't have to do it like I normally do, because wow, these are huge. Okay. So here we have the Fool, and this is going to be challenging. Let's look at the book first, because I want to know ahead of time if we've got extras or curveballs getting thrown in. And I apologize that I keep clearing my throat. I opened the windows. All right. So we have a foreword. This is 2013 by Quarto Publishing Group. Now, what did this one say? Race Point Publishing. www.quartoknows.com. So, okay, the publishing group, Race Point Publishing. 2013. So this has been out nearly 10 years. We have a foreword by Robert M. Place. We have chapter 1, which is history. Look at the color images. Isn't this beautiful? Family ties. Soldiers of Fortune. Let's see. There was the matter of Visconti's infertility. Although he married several times, he was unable to produce heirs to inherit his title. He finally was presented with a daughter, but she was born out of wedlock. He named her Bianca Maria. Okay, blah, blah. Anyway, Soldiers of Fortune, talking about more family history of the Visconti-Sforzas. Anniversary cards. Italian pageantry. So this is going to be good for me to read, because I am delving back into some more historical aspects of the tradition. The Game of Triomphe, Elements of Style, the first Tarot decks, and then chapter 2 is the Divine Tarot. If one heard it announced that there still exists in our days a work of the ancient Egyptians, one of their books that had escaped the flames that devoured their magnificent libraries and that contained in a pure form their doctrines concerning interesting subjects, everyone would without doubt be eager to come to know so precious and so remarkable a book. So stated the 18th century French author Antoine Coeur de Gabelin, who, on playing a game of tarot for the first time, he became so enthralled with the images he saw on the cards, he formulated a theory to explain their origins. Okay. Then we've got Marseille deck. So yeah, a lot of history. This is the Ateya Tarot there, and then the Road to Wisdom. So, the Vision, the Mystical Tarot, the Path to Enlightenment, the Alchemical Link, good gravy, Spiritual Gold, Modern Interpretations. Then we have the trumps. So finally on page 44, we get to the actual cards. The true tarot is symbolism. It speaks no other language and offers no other signs. So here's the Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor, the Pope. Wait a minute. Lovers, Chariot, Justice, Hermit, Wheel of Fortune, Strength. It looks like it's standard, because the Chariot Visconti has like faith, hope, and charity in there, but I think they take the place of like the star and some other things there. And then we have the suits, and at the end we do have readings, suggested readings, and sample readings. Okay, off we go. So here we have the Fool, very much simpler than the Waite-Smith deck. All we have is the dude and a wand over his shoulder and a little crown and a background, and you can see the cliff. There's no dog, there's no flowers, there's no all of the other things that we're used to. Here's the Magician. So he does have the tools in front of him. Here's the High Priestess. I love that three-tiered crown that she has. It would be nice to have something like that. But again, we have, you can see how the images were expanded upon by the Golden Dawn by the time it got to Arthur Waite. So here's the Empress, the Emperor, and you know, good to go through them in this order, because looking at this, if you didn't know would you know that that's the Empress, or would you think it might be the Queen of Coins or the Queen of Wands or something? So we'll see how these differ once we get to the suits. And there's the Emperor. None of the Aries signs, the ram's heads, all the things we're used to with the Waitsmith. Here's the Hierophant. Only him, no supplicants. There are the Lovers. The Chariot, with a woman driving or riding. That's interesting. So let's take a little wander now to the book, because it talked about backgrounds of the cards, and I wonder if they talk about specific images. So the Chariot, Il Carro Trionfale. No card exemplifies the triumph parade's influence on the Tarot more than the Chariot trump, originally called Il Carro, the Triumphal Chariot. Here, Bianca Maria personifies Laura, so these are the family members showing up. The protagonist of Petrarch's Il Trionfi. As driver of the chariot, Laura displays multiple symbols of authority, including the golden crown on her head, the scepter carried in one hand, and the imperial globe held in the other. Enacting the Neoplatonic quest for immortality, Laura manifests as archetype for the hero. As such, she must exert her will over the winged horses. Oh, they have wings. One of which represents the soul of appetite and the other the soul of will, as she guides the entire chariot/soul toward enlightenment. Then we just have keywords: conflict, turbulence, imminent voyage or journey, internal struggle to keep physical and mental powers in balance, search for truth and harmony, reversed is failure, defeat. So we do get some background on this specific deck and what is depicted. Okay, onward. There is Justice. So Justice is 8 here, which means strength will be 11. There's the Hermit with his hourglass. And there's the Wheel of Fortune. And then Strength. Oh dear, that's very different than the strength of the Waite Smith, or, you know, I'm thinking about my Hanson Roberts and my Robin Wood, and what gentle images those are of the woman so peaceful and taming the lion, and here's this dude with a fucking club. Give it to the woman. All right. There's the Hanged Man. Death. Interesting idea of how bones work. Here's Temperance. I like the socks a lot. Knee socks. Then we have the Devil. Ooh. Look at him. That's pretty rad. Tower. The Star. So we have the same kind of outfits on them. And there's the Moon. So we see that, you know, the person themselves, herself, is the focus of the image. And we've got her just holding a star. She's got a cloak. So you can draw out things from the images. You can talk about the star being something cloaked or veiled, although it usually doesn't mean something like that. Inspiration, hope, artistry. And then the Moon, we have these cords hanging down, kind of, sort of indicates flowing water. But I'm also looking at how they're all at the edge of a cliff. Check it out, you guys. All of these cards, well, not all, but the Fool, the Magician, there's a cliff edge, there's a cliff edge. So many of these majors have the figure standing at the edge of the same cliff that the Fool is standing on. Okay, there's the Sun. And probably somebody had to put that little scarfy thing in there because people got upset at seeing a pain back then. Then we have Judgment and the World. So no, none of the 4 fixed signs. All right, and we start off with Cups. There's the Ace of Cups. Amor. Let's look. Okay, the 4 suits. 2 of Cups. All right, all it says is, all right, this is a light-hearted suit that represents joy. Cup cards are rarely negative and often function as a mitigating factor when situated near negative cards in a layout. The cups can also represent the unconscious. It is interesting to note that the Two of Cups bears the phrase amor mio. Okay, so that's mio, really. M-I-O? Looks like M-V-O, okay. My love. And the Four of Cups, the Visconti insignia a bon droit, with good there is right. Okay, so the minors then just give us, the ace says this cup on this card is a hexagonal fountain resembling a baptismal font, or perhaps a chalice suggestive of the Holy Grail. Then we have upright and reversed. So the ace is the only one that has a description of the card. And then when we get to the courts, they have their own descriptions. All right. Amor mio. I wish that actually looked like an eye. So these are just pips. The 3, 4, 5, and they're not, you know, really artfully displayed when it's a odd number. That one is 8, 9, 10, and then we've got the page, and they all hold this cup with the cover on it, the knight, the queen, and the king. All right, there's the Ace of Swords. So all of the swords have this through good is right, or through right is good. What did it say? A bon droit appears. With good there is right. So with good, right. And it's on all of them. Go 6, 7, 8, 9. I do like these, you know, these geometric images like that. There's the page, the knight, the queen, the king. And the wands have that phrase on there too. So you do have to know what the wands and the swords look like, or you're gonna get confused. Especially since the swords have like a sheath on the tip. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Here's the courts, the page, knight. And we do see the difference in the horses, the queen, and the king. I have to say these are much easier to discern what's on the images than the Chariot Visconti. Those are really difficult if you don't know what you're looking at. Okay, Ace of Coins. And here we go back to this phrase again. 2, 3, 4, and more than once on the coins. 8, 9, and 10. And then we have the page. Oops. The knight. Well, the horse has one leg up, but he's still not going anywhere fast. The queen and the king. Alrighty. So we've already looked at the book. Let me light my charcoal. And we'll give it a test drive. Okay. Whoops. Sorry, I'm dropping things everywhere. Jesus H. Let's look at the very back here. The 3-card spread. Past, present, future. Situation, attitude, key element. External conditions, present situation, obstacle. Body, mind, spirit. Stop, start, continue. That's cool. Stop, start, continue. Stop this, start that, continue this. I'm intrigued. And then there's a you, me, us. Then they give a sample reading. Sample question, sample reading. Then we have a 5-card spread. The present or the general theme. Past influences, the future. Reason reveals a hidden impulse that may be an obstacle to achieving the questioner's goal, and then potential. So a potential outcome if you follow the course of action. Let's do the 5-card. You know, why not? I'm going to borrow my big chunky crystal to hold this open here. And zoom you back out. Okay. Guides and guardians, allies and ancestors. Time to get back down in my body. See, this is why I'm not doing live streams, because as a Scorpio rising, anybody that's Scorpio rising, I'm going to call you out right now. We have the ability to steamroll our bodies. When our bodies are telling us, I've had enough, we can just womp up energy and just push right through it, and then we pay. So I find myself gearing my energy up like this, and I have to... So, and what I also need to do is get out of my head and into my body. So, guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, welcome. Thank you for being here every day for me. Let's give this deck a little smoke cleanse with some sage. And then, so there's our air and fire blessing. Here's our water and earth blessing. Oops. Also bless the book with some ashes there. And here is the spirit blessing. Now, can't even shuffle them that way, which I'm sure you already knew. Let's try side by side. Don't have great hopes. Yeah, no, that didn't work at all. So we encounter the first big problem with these gigundo decks. Now you think about, why were they so big? But consider back then when the cards were hand painted, and how many people were hand painting cards, on little tiny pieces of vellum or whatever they were using. So I'm going to do some cut shuffles here, and then I'm going to, I'm going to spin some of these for reverse too. How the hell am I going to do this? All right, we'll just keep. So, now you know why this is just going to fill a historical hole in my collection and not ever be used for readings. But, it deserves a fair trial anyhow. And I'm just curious about if there's any way that I might be able to shuffle end to end like this. There are some people that have some pretty mad shuffling skills. And not me with a big deck like this. Anyhow. All right. Let's just kind of do this. This might be a deck that would be great to like smear it all over the bed and put it back together again, with uprights and reverses and stuff. And why I pulled that one card, I don't know. But I guess that's our first card. And let's just grapple with the fact that I don't even have the room to lay these cards out on my tiny desk. All right. So there's one. There's two, and I realize I have not asked a question, but this is my standard question for all unboxings and test drives. And I never finished with my guides and guardians. I offer you fresh water, and I offer you the fire of Azrael. Okay. My standard question is, in the times we're living in, as you see this video, how can we move out of fear and panic and the feeling of survival and back into this is where I belong and I'm thriving? So that is my question. As always, there's number 3. There's number 4. This is wanting to fall off. Which one? Which one? This is number 5. Okay. Those peeled away from the deck. I'm going to set this one aside because I'm not sure whether it was this one or this one that really wanted to come. I have a feeling it was that one. Okay. So our first card here is reversed 3 of coins. So this is the present or the general theme of the reading. Okay. We have it reversed, and upright is mastery and perfection, a good card for undertaking self-improvement projects and for learning new things, including life lessons. So the general theme of our reading for the question, how do we treat ourselves better? How do we go from scratching and scraping to blossoming and blooming? The reverse thing is wasteful of time and energy, lack of expertise, slovenliness, carelessness, and mediocrity. So the theme is here that we are, our focus has kind of slipped. We're not using time and energy to their best possible advantage, and how we're doing that is by not taking the time to take care of ourselves. Look at this: slovenliness, carelessness, and mediocrity. So we're not taking good care of ourselves as far as just maintenance and repair of the body, dressing ourselves well. When we care for ourselves, you know, when we're feeling shitty, we look shitty, right? And dress shitty. And in the fake it till you make it school, when you maybe clean yourself up a little bit, maybe put on makeup when you usually don't, or just wear something that makes you feel good whether you're going anywhere or not, that can help you. So how we treat ourselves is the theme. We're not treating ourselves really well. Card number 2 is past influences, past forces that are continuing to have an effect, and we have the Page of Cups. The Knave faces left, the direction of evil. Okay, so these cards come from a time when they were burning women in their tens of thousands. And the left side, which is considered the feminine side, was considered evil. That's the word sinister. So you have someone who's adroit, which means they're you know, upstanding and sharp, you know, and then you have sinister, which means left, the left side. So here's where we get into the language of evil that women have been tarred with for centuries. All right. He wears white gloves, a symbol of purity, which suggests good intentions in the face of malevolent forces. He holds a golden cup that, like all the court cards in this suit, is topped with a tall Gothic cover. His tunic is decorated with radiant suns. Kind of hard to see. And they're not really radiant, they're more just like linear. Can you get it? Oh, camera, how we struggle. Okay. A heraldic device of the Viscontis. The contrast between the knave's red and white stockings, if they intentionally reflect Renaissance symbolism, may represent a conflict between purity, white, and lust, red. Glad that the red is on the right leg. Okay. So upright, caring, tender, artistic, very good communicator, might also indicate a pregnancy or birth. So the question was, the position, past forces that are continuing to have an effect. So we are caring and tender. We do know how to take care of ourselves. We care about ourselves. We just, it's showing up in the past. 3 is the future. Manifests the questioner's future goals. Ooh. We have the Knight of Coins reversed. All right. Wait a minute here. King, Queen. Okay, yep, Knight of Coins. The Knight of Coins is the only court card. Oh! Missing from the original Visconti-Sforza deck. The substitute was recreated by reversing a print of the Knight of Cups and replacing the cups on the cloak with a pattern of Visconti suns interlaced with blue ribbons. Okay, so that's why this, and there's the Knight of Cups, that's why this Knight of Coins horse isn't standing all fours on the ground like he usually is. All right, so upright, good news regarding income, someone mature, responsible, dependable, and organized. Reversed, lazy, unmotivated, apathetic. So future-wise, this is it says the questioner's future goals. Well, it really isn't our future goal to be lazy, unmotivated, and apathetic. But what it says is that we are unable right now to look at future goals because we are feeling apathetic and depressed. And yeah, that's the whole reason we're asking, right? Card 4 is reason. It reveals a hidden impulse that, oh wait, this is supposed to go here. Reveals a hidden impulse that may be an obstacle to achieving the questioner's goal. A hidden impulse that's an obstacle. We have the Magician. All right, so the hidden impulse is I will read the paragraph here because we haven't read a full description of a major. The first trump in the hierarchy, the magician is the first guide on the quest for wisdom. His clothing indicates that he is most likely a trickster or carnival king, another popular figure from the triumphs. In Italian, il bagatella means something of little importance. The magician represents the soul of appetite, the lowest rung on the ladder to self-actualization. He's perched on an elaborately decorated trunk before a stark table on which are arranged a knife, a cup, 2 coins, and a large covered dish. His right hand rests on the covered dish, and in his left hand he holds a rod. Symbolically, the cup represents a benign motive, the knife a clear plan, the rod enthusiasm, and the coins all that is practical. And who knows what lies hidden in the trunk? Out of these elements, anything and everything is possible. So upright, an auspicious card for beginning something new, indicates imagination, originality, skill that can be used for good or ill. A hidden impulse. So this is a reminder about our magic, that we have this magical skill, and it needs to, it says it could be an obstacle, but not an obstacle here. This is saying that we need to go back to and rely on our magical abilities to help turn this apathy and depression and laziness and slovenliness around. So how do we go from surviving to thriving? Is we pretend like we're thriving to begin with, and then we do magic that can implant those seeds. Card 5 is the potential, points out the potential outcome if the questioner follows a course of action. And we have the Hermit. Let's see what we have here too. The Hermit and the Sun. Let's look at both of them. Okay, potential outcome. The Hermit. Upright, a warning to take stock of one's actions to ensure that they are meaningful before it is too late. Watchfulness and circumspection. So, potential outcome here is to look more deeply in to find some meaning. These keyword meanings are a little different than what we're used to as well. But the Hermit does mean looking inside for deeper meanings. It can also talk about isolation and solitude. Let's look at the Sun, which I think was the card that was trying to come off. The ideal in all things, including health, perfect harmony and unity, a balance between masculine and feminine that signifies deepening love, fame, pleasure, satisfaction. So, I think that our outcome, if we follow the fake it till you make it, and we do our magic, is that the sun can come out again and we really can feel like we are thriving and shining our light. But it's, with both of these, there's the internal, shining the light internally, looking at what we need on a deeper level, what this period of time, whatever it is for you, is meaning to you on a deeper level. And then with that, grounded in that, then we can come out of ourselves again and shine our light again. So I kind of like that reading. I like that 5-card thing. But whoo-wee, what a monster of a deck to deal with and to shuffle. What's kind of cool about pip decks like this is that if you are a seasoned tarot reader and you don't need the images anymore to know what the card means, it can make things just look so fucking mysterious to somebody that doesn't know. And you can lay things out and give these messages, and they're thinking, "Oh, where are you getting that information?" But we know where they're getting it from, right? So anyhow, you see my energy flagging. All right, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me on this. Let me know what you think of this deck. I am very glad to have it to start filling in those, foundational section of my collection. I feel like I need to have a whole library on its own. Here are the historical decks, and here are the lineages and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, dream on, Luna. All right, anyhow, if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you enjoyed what I just did, please hit that button. Also hit the like button. Consider sharing it if you know somebody that you think might get something out of it. And consider, down below is a wish list. And if you pick a deck off of that wish list and send it to me as a gift, I will read for you on this video. What a deal. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, you guys. I'll see you next time. Till then, this is Luna. Blessed be.